Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Wolf, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. Before I continue on, sorry for not doing a video yesterday. I had meant to do a video. I was actually going to do this one yesterday, but I got caught up in binge watching some stuff, also doing a little bit of job hunting, and I was also working on a new showcase I plan to do for the future, so I took that as like a day to just relax a little bit and just work on some stuff. But anyways, back to the video at hand. So, last episode, we did a showcase on LEGO Batwoman in celebration of the Crisis of Infinite Earths crossover and the new Batwoman show coming out, which, funny enough, after I uploaded the video, I saw that they had dropped the teaser for it, and it actually shows promise. Some promise. Hopefully it turned out pretty good. But anyways, back to the showcase. So for this one, I decided to go back to one of my old showcases that I did a few years ago, and recently decided to modify it a bit. So, of course, as you can tell by our two characters, this showcase is revolving around LEGO Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Now, I know this is like a few years old, so around this time, people are wondering, like, why? You're a little bit too late. I know I am. I did this showcase, like, around that time, but that was, like, before I started, like, doing YouTube, so I didn't do a showcase on it, and I'm glad I didn't do it immediately, because this gave me an opportunity to go back to the showcase, specifically to one of the minifigures that I desperately wanted to recustomize. So, here we have Superman, of course, in his outfit from Justice League / Dawn of Justice, and Batman in his armored bat suit. I've been wanting to redo that for a while now, and I'll explain as we go through the showcase. So pretty much, as you guys know the whole drill, we're going to take these minifigures one at a time, do reviewing them, explain my process, why we have it this route, and then go from there. So, without further ado, let's get the pedestal out and get the showcase on the road. So the first start off our showcase is, of course, the Man of Steel, or in this case, the minifigure of Steel, Superman. Now, I'm starting off with the old minifigure first before I go on to the recently updated minifigure, because this one should go by fairly quickly, because I didn't really make a lot of changes to this one. Just some slight repaints. So, with this minifigure, back when I did Superman, I did it based off of, like, some other customs that I saw of, like, how some customizers did their Superman minifigures. And a majority of them were mainly repaints, and I can see why. So, pretty much, if we remember how the original Superman looked like, whether it was in the Justice League sets or Dawn of Justice sets, it was pretty much, it came in two different versions. One was, like, of course, the blue suit, the red cape, and blue pants. Another one was the same ordeal, only with red boots. I chose to go ahead with the Superman that had just blank legs, because that way I could paint on the boots the way I would want them painted on. So you could kind of see where I'm painting on the boots. Okay, let me see if I can move my light a bit. Move my light so you can kind of see. There we go. So you can see of, like, where I painted on, like, some of the design patterns. Same thing with the wrists. I do admit this minifigure isn't quite as complicated as, like, some of the other ones that I've done, but that was kind of the goal for this one, because I didn't really want to change a lot of the outfits, just more of repaint it. The cape, I actually kept the cape fine. The cape was normal. The headpiece is kind of different. So this is like one of the old Superman minifigures. This was something that I had in storage, because I didn't like it. Well, I could kind of see why LEGO did it, but the original Superman had, like, two faces. One was smiling, and the other one, if I can remove the headpiece, come on, there we go. Don't fall over. The other side is, of course, like, him with his laser eyes. Now, for, like, cartoon Superman, I can see why they would have, like, one side be the laser eyes, the other side be normal face. In fact, I think I actually used the original headpiece for when I made Crowley, because for the red eyes to represent, like, his demon eyes. But in general, for, like, the Dawn of Justice Superman, I don't think he really smiled in that movie. Did he? I don't know, I haven't seen it in years, but it was more of, like, a dark kind of movie rather than more of smiling. So, I decided to just go ahead with, like, the original Superman minifigure that I had. Same thing with the hairpiece. So I went with the original Superman hairpiece, just cut off, like, the curl. And I think I had, like, an extra, so if I wanted to do, like, the classic Superman, I could put that on. But I didn't go ahead with like the other hairpiece, because two things. One, I felt like it didn't look good on Superman. Superman, like maybe some sanding and it looked kind of fine. And two, I've used that hairpiece so many times when it comes to customs, especially when I do a new Connor from the Terrific I'm Human minifigure. I got sick and tired of it, so I was finally like, you know what? I don't want to use this hairpiece again for a while. I'm gonna push it off for a while. I'm gonna push it off and wait until like a different moment to use it again, because when you use the same kind of hairpiece so many times, eventually it gets repetitive, it gets boring, and I like variety when it comes to the minifigures. So, I just went ahead and modified like classic Superman hairpiece, and you know what? This actually did look pretty good. So I'm pretty proud of it. So again, and not really a whole lot to this minifigure. I actually haven't touched this in a while because there was not really a whole need to recustomize this. So I'm pretty glad for that. But anyways, let's go on to the main minifigure for this showcase. And to wrap this showcase up, of course, we got Batman in his armored bat suit. And I have to say, this is probably the best armor suit that I have come up with to this day. So back when I first got the Dawn of Justice set, like the cheap one, only with armored Batman versus Superman, that minifigure I had kept normal for a while, for he had like the classic cowl, along with like this new body armor piece that I guess now LEGO also uses for like football players. I just remember that was a piece for like one of the minifigures I got, but it worked at first, but then I decided to like change it up a bit. First, I modified the cowl for like I cut off the ears to try to get like those little stubs, like the like sort of like the shortened ears that he has. Then I don't know why my brain came up with this, but I tried to replicate some other cowls that other people did. But rather than doing it from scratch, I took the original cowl, completely cut the ears off, and then put clay around the whole cowl. It looked silly. Really, it was giant and ridiculous. I don't even think I have a picture of like what it looked like, but it was ridiculous. It was not so good. Not so good back then. So for a long time, I wanted to change it up a bit, but I never got around to it. Until finally, while I was working on Batwoman, I thought, you know, if I'm gonna be modifying a Batman cowl all the way to the point for where there's nothing left but the faceplate, I may as well do the same for Dawn of Justice. So I didn't use that cowl. I think I still have it, but I'm gonna use it for something different. So instead, I went with like the customizer route and completely made a new helmet piece. This whole thing is made of clay on its own. I can't even remove it, but I'm fine with that. I have no intention of taking the helmet off anyways, so it's fine. But anyways, this whole minifigure in general completely changed. For a long time, it was mainly just like the helmet and the chest armor. Now it's everything. I had to look at a couple of photos for references of the armored suit, but as you can see, like with the helmet of how it came out. There's also, like, the cape. I think this is the first cape I have ever made that's just out of clay. Because the cape, it looks like a very heavy-duty kind of fabric, and I don't really have that kind of stuff, fabric. So I just decided to sculpt it out of clay. Okay, can we refocus a little bit? Okay, there we go. His arms, like with my Iron Man and War Machine minifigures, they got some clay padding on, as well as like some of the spikes, that Batman has on the gauntlets. You can see a little bit of detailing on the gauntlets, and same thing with the shoulder pads. Same thing with his boots. I can kind of move his feet, but not too much. Though. No, I almost thought about like trying to put maybe clay all over the leg, but I figured that would mess up the leg movement entirely. That it'd be worse than if I like try to put a decal onto the leg. It'd be so much worse, so I didn't go with that route. Instead, I just put some on the boots, like flatten it out enough for it would like blend in, or it could like fit into like the rest of the leg, and it actually turned out pretty good. I did, however, put all clay on the sides of the legs, and like so I at least did that, and you could see Of course, he's also got the spikes on the boots. I did have to double check, like, does he have those? And he does. He does. I keep forgetting that sometimes. He's also got, like, his utility belts. And it could have been better, but it's much better than some of the other ones I've used. And the chest armor, I definitely had to look at some photos of the chest armor when I figured out, like, what style it looked like. That's like, I went ahead and did it. And then, of course, like, he's got, like, this belt for, like, I think he uses this to hold the grenades that Batman uses in his grenade launcher, which I'll get to that in a second. Again, but to do that, rather than, like, going with, like, some fabric or maybe, like, a very skinny piece of clay, I took some masking tape, folded it in half, then cut off a bit of it, and glued it all the way up to the shoulder. I did, however, okay, if I can move this, I think I need both hands. There we go. I did, however, try to make sure that I wouldn't mess it up, although I think I just did a little bit. Oh, dear. There, is it? Okay. Oh, boy. Okay, I'll go back and try to fix that. But, in general, that's how I pretty much solved that problem. To keep, some of the detailing that you see on here is all Sharpie. I am thinking about maybe getting, like, these acrylic markers to do some more detailing, and that way it lasts on longer. But, one of the solutions I did to keep the Sharpie detailing on, or at least make it last longer, is once I did all the detailing, I then took it outside, took a can of clear spray paint. I did the same technique what I did with some of my weapons, and then completely coat it, and it came out pretty good. The detailing lasts on longer, and so that's all good. Okay, I think I need to reposition a little bit. Okay, there we go. So some of it I kind of have to fix, but I'll get back to that afterwards. As you can see, like, the grenade launcher, this is actually the second version I did. So the first one was, like, the normal gun that Lego included in for it had, like, the grappling hook gun as well as the stud launcher. You put the two together, and then you get like a light green stud, put it in the kryptonite grenade launcher. I decided to go ahead and then change it up a little bit. So I took, like, these two gun pieces, like sniper rifles that I wasn't using for anything else. I cut off like the handle/trigger on one of the guns, and as well as the sniper scope. I then glued them both together on top, and then included the stud piece for where, like, the grenade would launch out and reach its target. Alright, but that's not the only weapon I did. Okay, we'll remove that. Put this back here. I'll go back and glue that little bit, so that way it's not sticking out too much. And I also included in a upgraded version of the kryptonite spear. Here, I also heard it's called a lance. But I included in like this thing. It's, I think, the second version of it. It's not in the original set. Lego didn't include that in. But I did, however, try to make my own kryptonite lance because I thought it was kind of cool, you know, like a spear, and then at the tip of, like, kryptonites. And then I could totally see this as being like a weapon that's maybe somebody with super strength would have to use in order to fight Superman, so that way they can ensure, like, a direct hit. And he also used this to kill Doomsday, so that's kind of cool. But with this thing, originally this was a completely different handle, and the spear part, it was a bit fatter, it was a bit bigger. I didn't like that. I immediately got rid of it. And then with some new clay I sculpted out the spear tip, sanded out a bit, and then this handle piece, if anybody remembers, like, this old product line called Tenkai Knights, they're kind of minifigures, but at the same time, they're not even like Mega Blocks. They're like this kind of, they're like a toy line for where if you change it up a bit, you can actually turn them from minifigures into bricks. I know. So pretty much with one of the weapons that those guys carry, they carried like this sort of trident, and so I took his weapon, got rid of like the trident piece, and then sculpted out the rest of the spear here on, because I feel like that this handle piece represents a little bit more of like what Batman used in the movie when it came to sculpting out the spear. So, in general, I gotta say that this is probably a much much better update than the original Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice minifigure. I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I won't lie. I mainly watched it solely because of the combat, and of course the Batman scenes. Same thing with the Wonder Woman scenes. But I am proud of these minifigures. So I'm really glad that with the skills that I have now, I got a chance to go back to this Batman armored minifigure and really give him a proper appearance. And I think this turned out pretty good. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up and talk a little bit about the project that I was working on yesterday. So that does it for this episode of LEGO Arts. I can finally put the armored Batman minifigure to rest. Because finally, after so long, I got an idea that I am satisfied with it. The curse has been lifted! Hallelujah! So, anyways, going back to the showcase I was talking about. The project I started working on yesterday is based off of this new anime that I heard about before, but I didn't watch, but I've never seen it until recently. I finally decided, like, you know what? I'm bored. I want to go check it out, see what all the hype is about. And afterwards, it's just like, I love this. So, it's very creative. I won't say like what it is, because I don't want to give out like huge spoilers. But I will say that the showcase itself is gonna take kind of a while, because I just finished like some of the weapons. I need to go back and like paint them. I also need to do the detailing on the minifigures. I got all the bases for them. I just need to go back and apply on like some of the new features. And I'm gonna need to order a couple of hair pieces because some of the characters have like very specific kind of hairs, so I gotta go get them. But I guarantee that as soon as the showcase is done, I'll reveal it to you guys, and it's gonna look amazing. So I really hope you guys are looking forward to it. Some other updates is that I still need to get started on like my super secret project that I did in the teaser for LEGO Overwatch. I have not said anything, and nobody has said anything about it as well. But if you guys know what it is, feel free to jot down your thoughts on what the teaser might be, and we'll see at the final results once the showcase itself is revealed. LEGO Avengers, I'm hoping to get done. I'm gonna get done like around the summertime, because as last I checked, the minifigures that I ordered they've been shipped, so they should be on their way soon. I'm hoping like sometime in June, maybe July. July almost. Hopefully it won't take super long, but as soon as they get here, we'll begin modifying, changing things up a bit, and then go from there. Also another recent events next week. I'm gonna be going to Comic-Con. So if I can find a booth, I found a few new booths last year that were like selling minifigures. So if I'm lucky again, I might be able to find a few this year, and that way I can start planning for some more minifigures in the future. But anyways, if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. It really helps us become Let's Plays, LEGO projects, and remember here to have some fun. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment below what you think, share it to your friends, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, and here's how over the road. Ow! Woo! Thank you guys, we'll see you next time. What a nice moon rises!